In this series of videos, I'm going to be showing how to use the Microprofiler in Roblox Studio. If you're not familiar with building or scripting in Roblox Studio, you might find it more helpful to watch a few other beginner videos before diving into this series. In this specific video, I'll show you how to use the Microprofiler to measure the performance of your Lua code. You may have performance problems if you're doing complex or computationally heavy things. So I've got a really contrived example here. I've got your standard base plate and a script. And if I open up the script, you can see I do something pretty interesting. So I count from 0 to 500,000, wait, and do it over again, repeatedly. This is probably something you wouldn't ever want to do in your own code, but bear with me here. So I'm gonna run the game, and we've got some stutters. It makes sense, we are doing a lot of work here. I'm going to open up the Microprofiler and see what's going on. And great, we see this bar called script that's causing us to drop frames. I think it's pretty clear what's going on here. But let's say I didn't know what was going on. What could I do? Well, I can use this new API called Debug Profile to figure out exactly what's going on. With Debug Profile, I can create my own bars within the Microprofiler. So I'm going to open up my script and add these two lines. First, up here, I'm going to call debug.profilebegin with the name of the bar I want to create. Then after the loop, I'm going to call debug.profileend. You've always got to match the beginnings and the ends. So then I run it and I open up the Microprofiler, and great, that's exactly what I expected. The code between the profile begin and the profile end takes up the large majority of the time. Now let's do something more complicated. I'm going to open up the script back again, and this time say I count some more. This time I'm going to add a second loop. This one's only going to count to 100,000. I'm going to change the second profile bar to say my test 2, where my first one said my test. Let's try this out and see what happens. And okay, I see my test here and my test 2 right after it. And my test, the first one, is about 5 times as long as my test 2, the second one. This all makes sense. So one last thing. Say I move the profile end of my test 1 to after my test 2. What's going to happen? Well, so I do it and I go and run. And now I see that my test 2 is now a bar that's underneath my test. Cool, so you can nest profile begins within each other to nest bars. So that's all I've got for you for the Microprofiler. If you got any questions, check out the links in the description below. I hope you play around with it, use it to fix any performance problems in your games, and maybe even learn a little bit about the internals of the Roblox engine. Thanks for watching.